here we have the Magnatone Mark VII, all completed. The restoration on it was quite the process. Took me about a month of time, but less hours of work. It was just a lot of refinishing certain coatings and waiting on those to cure, uh, things of that nature, being able to only work on a section of the guitar at a time and having to tape off the neck and all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, I think it came out really good. The main restoration I did was to the headstock, fixing the crown of the headstock, and reshaping that. There was a chip missing out of it, so we reshaped that, and then we refinished the whole headstock with nitrocellulose lacquer, and tried to blend it into the neck and make it look as original as possible. Came out really good. I'm very happy with it. Did about 10 coats of nitrocellulose on it. So a good thickness, but still kind of in that vintage guitar range. Not too thick and not too polished and shiny like modern guitars. So yeah, I mean, a couple highlights of this guitar. We have, first of all, it's in really good shape. It's made between 1959 and 1960. Some of the features on it, it has Clouson tuners. These are the single line Clouson Deluxe tuners. They are dated between the 50s to early 60s. They're in really good shape. We did some restoration on those as well, getting the rust off of them and getting them to look really good again. But yeah, they came out really good. I mean, the metal shines now, and very minimal rust patina left on them. What else? The neck is a C-shaped neck, a kind of a medium C, not as thin as modern C shapes. Definitely got some heft to it, some meat in there. 12-inch fretboard radius, tiny little vintage frets. They're very thin and very shallow, or very short rather, not very tall. So not a lot of fret wear on it because I don't think it was played much before I got it. So good news there. We won't have to, do any fret leveling and recrowning just yet. I mean, there's very little material to work with, so grateful for that. We have an aluminum nickel cobalt 5 pickup, single coil pickup. It's a really interesting design. Very, very nice design, I think. Very aesthetically pleasing. Non-adjustable height, so it just sits in there and that's where it goes. It's got kind of a plastic center cover and then a metal outer cover. Really, really hot pickup for a vintage guitar. I think it was similar to the Rickenbacker designs that Paul Barth designed, but a little bit different. Could have been his own version for this. Not much is known about these pickups or the way that these guitars are really wired. As you'll notice, it's a single pickup guitar, but it does have a toggle switch here. Based on the multimeter readings, when the toggle switch is up, that is sort of half output or half resistance, and then when it's flipped down, it doubles that resistance. So the readings I got was 5K. They were 5K when it was flipped up, and then about 9.5K ohms when it's flipped down. The volume knob works great. The tone knob works great. Interesting, the tone knob is reversed from my normal kind of usual tone setting that I'm used to. So when it's at 0, it's basically the full treble sound, and then when it's at 10, it's actually that kind of more muted, bassy sound. This toggle switch too, there's some theories out there that it could be like more of a tone shaping switch, that it's just kind of changing the capacitance in the guitar to kind of shape the tone differently. When it's flipped up, it definitely gives much more of a kind of washy, um, like rhythm circuit sound, and then when it's flipped down, it's much more of that lead tone, that hot, output lead tone. So could be one of those types of tone shaping switches. But ultimately, like from the readings that I took, it is doubling the resistance, which is in a way doubling the output, sonically. So that's kind of what we got there. Yeah, I think other than that, we got a fiberglass pick guard. It's kind of interesting. It's actually not scratched. It's just got fibers injected into it, so that's why it looks like that. It's in good shape, no cracks, no holes in any extra holes or anything. Yeah, the guitar set up pretty nicely. The truss rod works great. There's very little relief in the neck. It is a shorter scale length, so I pretty much got it as straight and as flat as I could. The action's super low. It's just like a really, really low, fast playing guitar neck. It's got a 0 fret, so that helps the action be extremely low, and it helps the playing be really quick, which means that the nut slot heights don't really matter much, because really all they're doing is holding the strings from going side to side. They're not, doesn't matter how high it is, because the strings are resting on that 0 fret anyways. So really cool design. A lot of vintage guitars had the 0 fret, but for whatever reason, it hasn't really been continued much in modern times. What else? Yeah, rosewood slab fingerboard, maple neck, really nice piece of maple, all the way through the headstock and everything. Really, really pretty looking piece of maple. Maple laminate top and back, and then mahogany sides and mahogany center, or some people say birch sides and center. Nice, sunburst, tobacco kind of sunburst look to it. It's the original finish on the guitar. It's really thin. The finish is really, really thin, and the nitro is kind of starting to have that checking or that crackle to it. So really pretty there as well. I think that about covers it. I mean, I guess the other thing to say about the construction is that it's pretty much chambered all throughout. So in here, there's all these chambers and carve out. So the guitar itself is super lightweight, coming in at about 4.5 pounds, under 5 pounds. So really lightweight. I mean, definitely by far the lightest electric guitar I own. And yeah, I mean, really interesting kind of style. I mean, I guess you'd call this an offset shape. It's pretty wide this way. It fits in my Jaguar Mustang case. That's kind of the best fit for the of what case it fits in. So that gives you an idea. It definitely doesn't fit in a Strat or a Tele case. It's too wide for that. So it has definitely a wider rounded bottom here, rounded shape to the bottom of the body. What else? I think that's about it. Yeah, everything functions incredibly well. Everything sounds really good. The pickup is very hot. Like I said, it gets that kind of warm jazzy tone when it's on a clean channel, but then it goes all the way to like a bright fuzz lead if you turn on some distortion with it. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about it, and I'll give you a sample of some playing on it. Okay, here is the sound sample for the Magnatone Mark VII. I am running it through an Orange Rockerverb 50 Mark III, running that at half power, 25 watts, all tube. I am also running a light slapback delay coming from a carbon copy, and I will add a Fuzzatron fuzz throughout the sample from Third Man Hardware. I will start it in the toggle switch flipped up position, which is about half output, half resistance, and then I will flip that down for full resistance, full output from the pickup throughout the sample. So I hope you enjoy.
We